a little deeper in a couple of these sessions.
Girish, I do have a question for you.
Okay, let's have a question first.
I think that perhaps in my conversation with Uncle Stephen earlier this week, I think we kind of talked about this. That I think what I'm noticing is I'm working through, again, the knowledge and the behaviors to create that, that environment that you've been talking about. I think the frustrations that I have, are when other people or society just doesn't cooperate at all.
Yes.
So that I think that still needs to be. There still needs to be an adaptability in how we look at that and not have expectations that anybody or anything is going to cooperate. I think that's the piece that I'm not missing it, but I'm working through it, I guess, because it would be nice if the environment cooperated more often than it does.
What I have to do with the society, the family, the people at home, and the people at workplace, that is a very challenging question, and the answer is simply dispassion. At least we have 10 different answers of the same principle, that is dispassion. I gave you one answer today, and then we will continue. I am attached to you, for example. That is my behavior. Right? And now, whatever David talks about you, I don't listen to him because I'm attached to you. So now question comes, can dispassion work with attachment? So why you are attached to the society? Why you are attached to the society? Because that attachment clings to the behavior, then you are not in discernment, you are not doing viveka. So then what your mind says, oh, what I have to do with the society? Leave the society, recognize them, leave them as it is. We are not social worker to change the society. We are not politicians to make lot of promises. We are seekers. Even in your family, if person is not living in viveka or discernment, leave them as, recognize them, the world as it is, and live in, then there is no attachment, so there is no change in behavior, and then there is a dispassion. One answer. I will continue with a different answer. Let me take it. But before that, I have been requesting you all seekers that apply these principles in day-to-day life, in your family, wherever you go, 24/7. So once you apply these principles in day-to-day life, you will find one day that you are already in a state of meditation. So use this world outside as an opportunity to live your life of self-discovery. Some people are nasty to you, apply discernment and dispassion. Some people are good to you, apply discernment and dispassion. Where is the problem? And you are applying inside. Very important. And now understand clearly and keep it in your head all the time. What is the goal of life? We are very clear. Whatever actions, thoughts, feeling we are doing, it is all about peace and happiness, love and wisdom. We all are seekers of peace and happiness. Are you clear about it? First thing. Do you have a choice? Here I do not have a choice. Clear? Pay attention. So now think, I am a seeker. Yes, I will continue the journey. I am not a seeker, but do I have a choice? Even if I am not a seeker. Even if I am not a seeker, I don't have a choice because I am seeking permanent peace and happiness. Are you getting it? See the understanding and the logic put forth by our great masters. So, do you, no, I don't want to point out, but you already know one person, couple of months before, shared the same experience. I don't have the experiences the way other people have it, I don't know what to do. What happened? We are sharing the experiences to progress. So instead of progressing, that person cultivated a pride. Pride is a behavior. That how come David has progressed a lot? Why I am not doing it? I am more intelligent. I am not in dispassion. I lost everything. So it's very subtle. But once you understand, there is no end of this journey. So think of this. Now go back. Here our friend has come. So go back to the same dispassion. What is that dispassion? That we need to understand it clearly. I do not have a choice to leave peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. I don't have a choice. Whether I am a seeker or I am not a seeker. Are you clear about it? So that person left the session. So should I chase that person? Answer is no. So because of the pride, she could not do the discernment. She could not reach to a state of dispassion. Person continues to live into that state of the passion. Now ask yourself, when I don't have a choice about peace and happiness and I'm not a seeker, what should I do? Take a simple example in day-to-day life. I don't have money to meet my basic necessities and I don't have it. What I do? Should I go to the bedroom and sleep? Now apply the same principle. If I am not a seeker, I have more inspiration to become a seeker. Why? I don't have a choice. I don't want to live in stress and suffering. Are you clear? Are you clear about this? Look at the way we have no choice. So if I am not a seeker, I want to progress. I want to inspire myself to become a seeker. And the moment you inspire yourself to become a seeker, why should I leave the session? No, it's not a question that this beer guy, you attend a session of a beer guy. You can attend the session of anyone. But you don't want to leave. Do you have that awareness? So that awareness is discernment, and that will make you a seeker. Now, if you make a wrong choice, then what happens? You continue with the sorrow and suffering. As the Sam says, I don't see that the society, I find lot of leave the world as it is. That is why I normally use the word to live in harmony with your honey. Remain silent. If she speaks or he speaks, remain silent. If he or she doesn't speak, remain silent. Why? That message is for the discernment, leading to dispassion. Now understand passion or dispassion. Especially passion is attachment and detachment. From today, take this passion or attachment and detachment as a weakness in the mind and start working on that weakness. How I fail in my own eyes because of attachment. There is no other reason. Attachment. So we are talking about if the viveka is there, the discernment is there, the dispassion will follow. But now ask yourself, who strips discernment? Who takes you away from the discernment? It is attachment. Attachment leads to passion. So the passion hides what is right and good. I just gave an example of Sam and David. We have told you we have 3,000 texts. We have 3,000 teachers. Every teacher, every text talks about these fourfold practices directly or indirectly. If you are not following that, you leave it, you study any practice, you do any practice of meditation or mindfulness, it will never succeed. Just a day ago, all are my friends. So one friend, that person I'm not revealing the gender, so that person started challenging through his or her intellect. Can you tell me where is these fourfold practices in Hatha Yoga? No, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, there is a specific text. You will be surprised. There are verses in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that is a text of Hatha Yoga that talks about the fourfold practices, and that person is doing yoga for 20 years. So that person went for a popular notion, and that person challenged. I said, don't challenge me, challenge your intellect. You have formed your wrong notion. Change your wrong notion. So when I told you that this attachment and detachment is a weakness, understand our behavior. Very important. One person you dislike. what your behavior wants? Dissociation with that person. What is the result? Pleasure. Take a simple example which may not be true. You like me. So there is an association. Where the association and dissociation is working, it is working in the mind. So dissociation with one person you don't like gives you pleasure. Dissociation with the second person you like gives you pleasure. So where the association and dissociation is working, it is in your mind. Did you apply discernment? No. You will be in passion, and the passion will lead you to suffering. Did you understand that? That is why we have to practice dispassion. Another way, now see the result. That is the answer, another answer to the same question. When you live in dispassion, the mind is not at all influenced, dictated, affected by any likes and dislikes. So what happens to the mind? The mind is free. It has nothing to do with indifference. Remember, sometimes people feel, oh, dispassion is, that I suppress my emotions. No! You are purifying the mind. But then you claim, I am not a seeker. Well, if you are not a seeker, I cannot have a choice. I cannot leave the path. Who says I cannot leave the path? Your knowledge that is the power of discernment. I cannot leave the path. I do not have a choice. But now, say for example, you leave the path. What is the result? This meditation, mindfulness is a crazy thing. I did not have those experiences. What happens then? The mind takes over you. Then you blame, complain, react for everything in the society, in the family, in your relationship. Go further. I still want happiness by doing criminal acts. You go further. Reach to the highest point. So don't think that those criminals do not want peace and happiness. But they are seeking happiness through a means which is against the society, which is against me. I cannot reach to that state. Not possible. I'm stressing, no choice. I have no choice. So I inspire myself, I have to become a seeker to succeed, not only in my life, but set an example. Are you getting it? So never think from your own intellect, but follow the teachings of the Eastern wisdom. Dispassion gives you so much of joy inside. What is joy? You have removed the weakness of your mind. Are you understanding? You have removed the weakness of your mind. Do you still remember? Viveka brings understanding and clarity. What is clarity? I use the term classifying, separating. Neighbor's house, my house. Behavior, attachment. Now there is no attachment. So no attachment. You recognize the people as it is. Viveka leads to dispassion. Dispassion awakens you to that state of the joy. So that person, who was listening to Hatha Yoga, no, you don't listen to me. Okay, now from today I will listen to you. Finished. So go into a little more understanding of dispassion. I am attached means what? I gave an example that I am attached to Sam. So what will happen inside my mind? And Stephen says, no. I don't believe you that Sam is such a good person. Then what happens to my mind? I want to prove it. Because of the attachment, I give more value to a person, added value, which does not exist. Every person is good. So what I lack discernment. When I lack discernment, I will blame, I will complain, I will react, I am attached, I will cry, I have tears. There is no end to the problem. Now, if you don't have these two powers, will you ever succeed in meditation? Ask yourself. Sitting in meditation, because one attachment to a person, attachment is present. That is more important, not attachment to a person, thing, or anything. If the attachment is present during the meditation, that attachment will go to the body. The body will move, distract you. You will not succeed. I believe you all are seekers, you are understanding. We are going deeper and deeper. Last point, you have to think it over. Absence of connection between what you want in life and the object in the mind. Think of it. Absence of connection between the goal of life, that is peace and happiness. When that is absent, you are in passion, you suffer. And when you suffer, what happens? You blame someone, he or she blames you. Again, there is a cycle. So that creates the impurity in the mind. That impurity needs to be removed to succeed in meditation. So first thing, in attachment and liking and disliking, that is my particular behavior in the mind. How? I add a value first. When I add a value, first thing, then I superimpose my idea, my notion, two things. What happens? I fall into ignorance, and when I fall into ignorance, the desire for seeking happiness from outside in the world starts. It never comes to an end, and that causes me suffering in my life. That fails meditation. Why meditation? Last point, why meditation? Remember, meditation aims at revealing that knowledge of the real self in me. Okay, but is not the real self is revealed? No. Whether you say it is attachment, whether you say it is subtle ego that is living my life at present. So what is the goal of meditation? Now the real self is manifesting through intellect, through mind, through body, through sense organs, and living my day-to-day life. When the real self is manifested, that is our goal. We don't have a choice. And the real self is of the nature of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Last session we said, I think that again, that is a clarity that I have to bridge the gap between knowledge through the discernment and behavior coming through the dispassion. Knowledge and behavior. Knowledge and behavior. So when you bridge this gap, still there are misalignment between the knowledge and behavior. What is that? Because of past impressions. Sometimes we say there is a proverb that it's very hard to leave a habit. Some proverb is there, I don't remember. So those past impressions still remain. In order to remove those past impressions, we have the 6 treasures, the third factor, third out of the four practices. So we will talk about that after we understand it clearly, the discernment and dispassion. So we have to listen. I've been requesting you, so we'll start our practice, but I've been requesting you, please go through the previous talks and the practices so that we can continue understanding. And with that understanding, we are doing the practice. Close your eyes, my friends. Close your eyes. Mind is looking inside. How fast, how quickly. The moment I say close your eyes, your mind starts looking inside the forehead and the body becomes comfortable, easy. How quickly? In a split of a second. And then you check, okay, the body remains steady. Yes, I'm there. Mind is looking inside. In the space. Why space? It is not looking for any object and person where we are attached. Do you see knowledge and behavior? Knowledge in the mind, the intellect in the mind? Who knows this? Because we are a human being, we have a higher level of self-awareness. And then, because of that higher level of self-awareness, you ask the intellect to teach the mind to be in Namaste Mudra mentally, as if the thumb is touching the sternal notch, 5 fingers, you symbolize 5 sense organs. No, I don't need you. 5 motor organs, I don't need you. So when you have that awareness, through the discernment, the body will not move. But then why body moves? Either because of attachment or because of many past impressions. I believe you are becoming clearer and clearer. So the mind instantly moves into the space between the palms and the Namaste Mudra. Oh, my mind is like emptiness. That is good. What I am searching, real self. Why? I don't have a choice. When the intellect is convinced, it inspires the mind. You don't have a choice. Your behavior will definitely change. We are not talking of behavior, therapy, cognitive, what is CBT, etc., etc. But look at, they apply at a very physical level. We apply with clarity and understanding. mind is contracted when we have an attachment. Mind expands when attachment leaves. Now you see the indirect means to change this mind. What is that? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Look deep inside the head. Follow the knowledge. What it means, let everyone, may there be well-being for all. Living into that space. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be well-being for all. You are asking well-being for all, not to a particular person, an object or an event. So when it is particular, you are already attached. Do you see the power of the mantra? Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Let there be peace for all. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. So when you are seeking peace for everyone, without any exception, attachment. Common denominator, expansion of the mind. Be clear about the discernment and dispassion. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Let there be a completeness in everyone. I am complete, so everyone is complete. So why I am blaming and reacting? Look at it. Be very clear. To move into the higher state of dispassion. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. We have been doing with this mantra, maybe we are spending 10 minutes, but we need not to do it. There is a clarity, there is a conviction. So there is a dispassion. So now you understand why I gave the first step like this. Namaste Mudra. Sarve Sham Mangalam Bhavatu. Let there be an auspiciousness everywhere, at all time, at every moment in my life, supported by well-being, peace and sense of completeness. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mind or behavior, we say mind is constantly engaged in the things not required. I believe, my friends, you have understood discernment and dispassion. So, in the first step, we applied discernment through the intellect, through the contemplation and reflection. We did not engage the mind into lot of breathing, etc., etc. Do you see that power of discernment? And now, check, are you comfortable? So then you are a seeker, you know it. You look at the neck joint. Sensation, comfort and steadiness. Then you are aware of the space. You are already in Namaste Mudra. So here I picked up a point. Namaste means not me. This not me has to do with the body, breath, mind, intellect, subtle ego. So you live into the higher state of dispassion. So even being comfortable can take you to the higher state. Shoulder joints, object. From the object, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Okay, from that experience, not me, the space. Hip joint, we just take any joint you can take. It's not compulsory. And then sensation, comfort, and steadiness, space. Namaste mudra, not me. When you are not, the mind is puzzled to find any object of attachment. Behavior changes. Why I say the people are not changing, why I have to worry? But why I worry? Because of me. And that me has a point of attachment. It will take time, but it will happen. So from there, the entire body, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, space. Let us go directly. Is there an infinite space? Yes, space is awareness and awareness is space. I think that I covered little higher aspect on Saturday's session. So we progress, becoming a perfect seeker, discernment, dispassion, and I told you there is a misalignment. So 6 treasures. So those 6 treasures I'm combining all together into the third stage, which we do the breathing practice. But when we will open up, we will take it one after the other. So keep looking inside the forehead in the space. Contraction and expansion of the chest by the chest breathing. Start breathing. Gentle, short, quick breathing from now. But keep your focus inside the forehead in the space. Why? Intellect will remain alive. Follow discernment. Continue. Quick, short, gentle breath. Keep your focus inside the forehead so that you are asking the mind, are you ready to change or not? That is why I say it is an active step. But I'll tell you, continue. Mind will ask you, no, I don't want to do it. Means what? Passion. Mind doesn't want to change. And we know we have to change. We have no choice. So do you force your mind? No. Through the understanding, you are continuing the practice. And just do nothing. Remain as you are, experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So, what we normally say that the past impressions are temporarily dropped by the active practice. Any active step will have a temporary effect. And I don't have a luxury to breathe like this 24/7. We are talking of discernment. So there is a dispassion even for the breathing. Can I reach to the same state of sensation, relaxation, stillness? Outside, calmness and quietness inside. One day, without the active step. Why? You know the answer. But then we will go for a subtle practice. We inhale for 10 seconds. We keep looking inside the heart and the space. We retain the breath for 15 seconds. And in that, we say Shanto Ham, looking into the infinite space. So every time as if we go deeper and deeper and deeper. And we release the breath. We also check if the mind causes a change in behavior, as if we want to breathe faster, breathe out. Oh, no. So no issue there in the mind. Can that be one indicator we are changing the mind? The answer is yes. So, start inhaling, deep, silent, slow, for 10 seconds. Continue. Retain the breath inside, look inside the heart. Shanto Ham. Continue. Maybe you can repeat 2 or 3 times. But every time you repeat, let the mind perceive the infinite space moving within. 2 things. Moving within and the infinite space. Release the breath. Did you check releasing the breath? So we go back to pick up the understanding from the Kundalini. Meditation. Check it. Is the breath flowing equally through both the nostrils? 1. Second, did you release the breath without any pressure? 2. Just pick up the 2. We'll go to the subtler level later. Inhale deeply. Continue to inhale. 10 seconds. Done. Retain the breath. Shanto Ham. 2 things. Space and the mind is moving within. Release the breath. So when you release the breath with awareness, if you release the breath with awareness, forget about being a seeker or non-seeker. You will find the mind follows you. I appreciate you all. Beautiful. So, third time. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. We are not inhaling faster. Totally silent. Continue. And stop. Retain the breath inside. Shanto Ham. Shanto Ham. Release the breath. So when you release the breath, you follow the normal breathing pattern. You do not control the breath. Who wants to control? Mind. How? Behavior. But why? Because of habit, because of ignorance. You see, lot of stuff is there. We'll understand that. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Retain the breath. Shanto Ham. Shanto Ham. Follow your own rhythm. Space and awareness of the space, and the mind is moving within. Release the breath. Check. You see, you have to do, I cannot say you have to do a lot of things. You have to maintain an awareness. You have equal flow from both the nostrils. Good. Even if it is not, good. Why? I'm a seeker. Release the breath. I'm aligning this step with the next step, so that may give you a deeper experience. So inhale deep, silent, and slow. Retain the breath. Shanto hum. Shanto hum. Release the breath. Allow the breath to be normal. Inhale deep, silent, slow. You bypass the body. Hold the breath inside the heart. Shanto ham. The intellect is aware of the two things. The mind is moving inside with constant awareness of the infinite space. Release the breath. Now we bypass the breath. Leave the breath as it is. You have bypassed the body and the breath. Continue to move the mind. I'm merging the next step. Continue to move the mind with a normal breathing, with that steadiness in the body, inside the heart. Look at the space. Shanto ham. Mind is still moving. No worries. Let the mind, you're moving, okay. Move inside. With the power of discernment and dispassion. No, mind has lot of thoughts. Where comes the dispassion then? Why you're not applying it? I'm with you. Continue. Shanto hum. Discernment, dispassion. The mind moves naturally within. If there is any object, attachment, I believe you are all are understanding. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the left hand. Raise both your palms gently, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. So you see the space, and then you have your experience that you can translate into thought. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences now. How are you, David and Jerry?
Was very, very elevated. And then when noticeably when we went into the holding breath, it dropped significantly and continued that way, and particularly in the last thing we did, the space was just deep and cold and
good,
endless. It was wonderful.
Endless. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. How are you, Jerry?
Sure, I'm doing well. Right from when you said a split second, closed the eyes, and I was in that space.
Good.
With the mantra, the space was just this good space. It felt illuminated and joyful, and so the mantra just brings that element of I don't know, freedom almost, and just such a light. And that's kind of just stayed with me through the practice.
Beautiful.
And the whole practice, that hour went by very fast.
Great. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. How are you, Lara?
I am good. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I was with a client right before, and we were actually doing the quick fast breathing because it's something that I practice with him. And so it was interesting. So I'd done it and my body temperature had gotten really hot, and then when we did it again, it's kind of remained neutral, but I watched my mind. It's had a lot of fluctuations of like random thoughts kind of going through the mind. So that was kind of fun just to watch it and be like, okay, non-attachment.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Watch it go. And then we were starting to slow the breath down and holding the breath. I noticed that we were holding longer towards the end. So I was watching that happen, and it was fun to watch the mind because there was a lot of color at one point, and then it just got one color. So it quieted, and then being in that. And then when we were in the heart at the end, it was really beautiful. And it was super quick, and being able to be present and still watch what's going on without judging and getting into that. So really practicing the discernment and dispassion.
Yes. That is beautiful. You will discover that during this practice, when we apply the discernment and dispassion, we find the mind is still running, but we are not affected by it. So when you are not affected, it will change into different colors, different visions. And ultimately, mind says, now I am defeated by you. So whatever you say, I will do it. So let the time come. Beautiful. How are you, Christina?
Thank you for that. I enjoy the breath work because, for me, every time it's just overcoming a challenge from my past, and that's something that I've been practicing every day of overcoming past challenges. And I've noticed for months, whenever you begin a mantra, I thought that maybe I've never said anything, because every single time I just get a flush of light and a flush of just exulting any anxiety or something that maybe I was holding on into in my neck or in my lower, wherever in my body I was holding on to something. It is like a breath of fresh air, and I'm not feeling any air. So
Good.
I've just been able to connect my mind and calm present moment to the mantras, and I just wanted to say thank you for, I've never expressed
good
that, so
good
thank you.
Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
So very relaxed. While doing this breathing exercise, while doing the chest breathing, I realized something that if I don't I was just doing that. This is the only moment that I'm doing it. I don't connect with the past moment. So even if I'm doing it for very long, it was look like that I am doing it over here only, and it doesn't look like that it's very long that I'm doing this thing. And then after that, when I'm just breathing in that Shantoham, so when I'm taking the breathing inside, and when they say that Shantoham, I don't remember that when I'm breathing it out. So it was like
Yeah. I could see. I think I used the word that now is the time to bypass the body and the breath. Now you are going deeper. So that is what you experience in a flash. So that is definitely an intense awareness deeper inside. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't see you, Terry and Ashok. How are you, Stephen?
I'm very, very good. First, I want to say thank you. It's the knowledge that you're giving me that has really allowed me to embrace this whole practice, and I noticed my own advancement. As you know, I've had a few challenges in the last 3 weeks or so, and the discernment and the dispassion, it's perfect timing, and I get it. I look at it as a three-legged piece, that I have knowledge to discernment to dispassion, and without the knowledge, I can't get to the dispassion, I can't get to the discernment, I can't get to dispassion without the discernment, so I'm through this. So it's great, and thank you. I've been very, very focused for a long time on peace and happiness, and love and wisdom is my essential nature. I write it at the top of my diary every single day of what I'm going to focus in on. And today's experience was a little distracting to begin with, because something happened that I've never had happen before. As soon as I put my fingers together and sat in that split second, as Jeree pointed out, I felt this tingling in my hands that just took this focus to my hands. And I knew that I'm trying to pull myself away from it, but it is as if it didn't want me to move away from it. And then as I sat there, I said, okay, this tingling is now getting more intense. And it got so intense in my hands that all of a sudden I felt an equal energy come through my hands, through my arms, into my heart, and then from there exploded up into my head, and I saw a bright golden light. And then the light, as much as it exploded out of me, it then came back into me and right down into my heart, and I completely settled into meditation, and I was just blown away by the experience. And I can't tell you anything after that, because I was just in the space. So
First thing, the conclusion is that even if we have these variety of experiences, I'm not talking, because if I talk of those other deeper experiences, what will happen? The mind will start imagining them in every practice of meditation. So now you have shared this experience. This tingling may become intense in any part of the body, can move into the entire body, can move anywhere inside the heart or the head, and ultimately it settles down. So we need not to worry about it. That is why the teacher is required to make you settle. But one thing is sure, that in our practices that we are doing, there is no harm, so we will not think about we will not take the mind into those negative thoughts at all. So be very clear. It's a beautiful way of narrating. How are you, Sam?
Really good. The practice itself was very settling and quick and easy for me. Similarly to how at the beginning of the practice today, I was asking you about how to achieve dispassion when society is not cooperating or things around you are not cooperating. I'm also now thinking about how I've been settling myself within that, and it's generally by using the active breathing practice lately. So, for example, my roommates had a party last week. We had some people over on our patio, and there were 3 or 4 times where I just walked up, left everybody, went up into my room and did the breathing practice for like 5 minutes just to reset. I do that a lot now. But there are going to be times where you can't do that. So now
Then dispassion.
How do you achieve that without it? Yeah, no, I know. It's all dispassion, yeah.
You see that people normally tell me, oh, how can I do the practice? You don't understand, the people around me, the world around me is so much crazy. How can you keep yourself aside? Because they are at a very primary level. But once we understand the powers of discernment and dispassion, we can definitely achieve that state. Beautiful narration. Barbara. Yes, Barbara, and then we will go to Terry. Yes. And Sangeeta, yes. I don't hear you, my friend.
Okay, now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I feel very good. As soon as I closed my eyes this time, I felt completely relaxed. And then I started seeing bursts of color, and particularly yellow, and I've never seen yellow before. I don't know if that means anything at all. But, and then I just felt almost like I was stoned, like I couldn't move even if I wanted to. And in the end, when you said to concentrate on your right hand and the left hand, I wasn't sure that I could do it, but of course I did.
That's
And
good. That's a deeper experience, no doubt. No, very beautiful. And how are you, Terry? Is so active today.
Hello. I'm obviously I cannot hold still, so I was a little bit I was very distracted by I couldn't lose my awareness of the body because the body was moving around.
Yeah.
So my awareness of the space was mostly intellectual, I think, in the first part.
Very good.
Because of that, but it did help me to to know that, because I kept telling myself, just focus on that part and let the body just go, just toss it away, because if it's not going to stop torturing you, who needs it, But
She's laughing. I like her. That's the reason. Understand, Terry, understand. I think I gave some hint about it, and understand it clearly that we talked about discernment and then the dispassion, and still the misalignment is left because of the past impressions. So your mind has already accumulated millions and billions of impressions with the knowledge coming from the science, and also your personal experiences that the body is constantly moving because of this illness. So it is the mind is still the culprit. Can I separate myself from the body and the mind? So one day you do it successfully by default, and the body remains totally still. On the other day you cannot do it because of the past impressions. And we are going closer. Continue. You will set a great example. I'm looking forward for it. So Sangeeta sent a love to Jerry also. She said she's more wonderful than me. हाँ संगीता बोल।
सर बहुत पीसफुल था, और सबसे ज्यादा सर जब मंत्र करते हैं तो बहुत अच्छी वाइब्रेशन आती है, और ग्रेटिट्यूड बहुत थी।
Gratitude, yeah. She's filled with the gratitude, and she likes to do Shantoham as her mind moves again and again. Now tell me one question. Did you understand that I cannot afford, there is no choice in my life except to continue to live in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? Clear? I'm just, out of just at a lighter moment I'm saying it. But you have to think over it. No, I'm very busy, I cannot attend this session. Can you afford peace and happiness? Do you have a choice? No. You don't have a choice. Why you miss? You have a choice to miss, but you don't have a choice for peace and happiness. Did you understand that? Do you have a choice to stop breathing while activity? That helps you to reach to the highest level of dispassion. Then this mind is constantly looking, aware that I cannot afford, I don't have a choice, so what? I will live into peace and happiness all the time. And that will come by the 6 treasures, 6 inner wealth, when we will understand that. Do you have any questions? So Sam, from today, let the roommates work on their mind. They are not working on their mind is working on them. So you start, let me work on my mind. Okay, they are doing it. Let me accept. Thank you very much. Bring them more drinks for them. But I've already answered you. So that is all for today. Thank you. We will meet on Saturday.
Girish, the talk on the Pradipika was great. Because I listened to it on my walk yesterday.
Which talk?
The Pradipika, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. that you did a couple days ago.
Oh my goodness. My another friend has lot of objections. So that friend was moving again to the popular notion of Hatha Yoga.
Yeah.
So
it was fascinating it was fun for me to hear that duality in the conversation. So thank you. Listen to it if you have time. I highly recommend it. And don't watch it. Listen to it. Because I think that helps.
Don't watch?
Because I didn't get involved in watching. I was just listening to you. I know I had a different experience with it. So.
Yes, I love it. So it is better, we all are teachers, so we should put some seed of wisdom about Hatha Yoga. We don't oppose what is the popular notion going on in the world. Need not to. That's not our journey. But explain them. So when you explain them, they find some wisdom. It is not my wisdom, it's wisdom coming from the entire tradition.
Yeah.
Now she understands. That person might be upset, But
she'll get over it. She's strong.
I make people upset, so what?
You can't make anybody feel anything. That comes from within.
That is
Have a good one. I gotta go.
good
Bye.
one. Thank you. Yeah.